grid size here at Fulbeck for round 7 and 8 this weekend. And had to deal with plenty of action yesterday because they had, if memory serves, the brunt of the changeable weather conditions to deal with for their second heat. Let's though look at how they line up for this first heat for round 8 in Junior Max. It will be Riley Bishop who lines up on pole, who took the plaudits yesterday for top rookie, if memory serves correctly, yesterday in this class. Emily Cotty alongside, who was on the podium yesterday, third place for her yesterday. What can she do today for round 8? Ben Horner and Tom Holden are next. Tom Holden was your trophy winner yesterday in the final. Owen Keenan and Jasmine Taylor, who leads the championship, does Taylor, coming into this weekend. She did at least. James Kell and Harris Roberts are next, with Albert Wilton and Max Rowley rounding out the top 10. Callum Ghosh and Archie Flint are next. Then it's Rory Hinckley and Max Greatrex. Harry Hurst-Grover and Kieran Denier are next, with Jack Dimbleby and Noah Sales on row number 9. Row 10 is where we find Harvey Quick and Oliver Lomax. Lucas Reeves and Lewis Holt on row 11. Alex McCulloch and Archie Dyson are on row number 12. Row 13 is where we find Toby Jukes and Freddie Snelling. Ben Brock and Sam Flynn are next, with Harley Sadiq and Karthik Kameta rounding out the top 30. Archie Doherty and Molly Pugh are row 16, and the 17 rows of the grid rounded out by Theo Gartside and Arthur Frey. That's how they line up then, and we are ready for the off. In Heat 1 of Junior Max, they will miss out the first chicane. Riley Bishop leads them away towards the hairpin for the first time. It's even Stevens between him and Emily Cotty into the first hairpin. Are they all going to get through cleanly? No, there is contact in the mid-pack, and that is a disaster there. It definitely included the number 53 of Alex McCulloch. Didn't quite catch who the other driver was, but we'll try and confirm that on timing as they stream through chicane 2 and now through hairpin 2 up at turn 6. Drama in the mid-pack aplenty. So the 53 was the first car that we definitely saw involved, and that's the one that's come to a stop. So that's Alex McCulloch. I'm not sure who the other driver was who was involved in the contact yet, but McCulloch has unfortunately come to a stop at the side of the road off the back of that, and I've got a funny feeling the other driver involved may well have been Lewis Holt, who has lost out heavily on that first lap. So Holt in the number 20. And we've got a red flag there because I think Alex McCulloch is having to have a bit of attention there on driver's right. So another red flag, second one we've seen today. So we saw that contact, and we did see the slightly worrying sight there in the mid-pack of another car riding up onto another driver's cart. I thought, looking out the window, that Alex was initially okay there. Hardy Sadiq, I do note, is also down the order, so some dramas before his race, but I'm fairly confident we've got the 53 here down at turn 2, just having a bit of attention. It's never nice to see a cart riding up on to another like that, so we're just going to, unfortunately, but importantly, have another pause here in proceedings, just whilst all the attention that is needed is given to the driver there to make sure that they're okay. So the 53 of Alex McCulloch just on the exit of turn 2, with Alex having a bit of attention from the medical team just to make sure he's okay. As I say, the concern there that another cart rode up onto it there may have made a bit of contact with the side. Most drivers will be wearing some form of rib protector here, but nonetheless it can be a little bit of a shock. So just make sure that he's getting all the attention. Another pause to proceedings then here, just as we're waiting for the outcome of all that. This is a second red flag of the day, and it's occurred early on here in Heat 1 for Junior Max. And the drivers being given direction now. So they'll be asked to head round single file, I would presume. And then they'll be asked to line up on the grid and await further instruction. As indeed will we here at the circuit. We'll let you know as soon as we have any confirmation of details, but this is a second red flag of the day, this time in Junior Max, and we understand this to be some attention being given to Alex McCulloch, who was involved in an incident at the very start of the race on lap 1. And just to be clear, I'm just had it confirmed here in timing that this will be a full race restart with the original grid order, given how early on that was. So that's why the drivers have been instructed to go around and take up these positions as they have. And we're just waiting for some information on the attention being given to Alex at turn 2, this is, and the recovery, though less important, but important for us to be able to go racing again, the recovery of the kart. If you're just joining us here on the Alpha Live broadcast for round 8 of the 2024 Rally Replay SuperOne Series, we have just had a pause in proceedings here at the circuit. It was a red flag thrown early on in Heat 1 of the Junior Max race. The incident involving the 53 of Alex McCulloch, the JWR team driver, who needed some attention off the back of that incident. We saw another car riding up on the back and perhaps making some contact with him there that may have let's say that would have been around the ribs area and stuff like that. So the medical team was straight on scene. He's been recovered in the car and handed over to the main paramedics team, which you can just see behind the fence there in the back of the shot. The medical car that had originally gone onto the scene, I think, is just returning back to its deployment spot. In terms of the race there, well, so just to finish that thought then, so Alex recovered to back to the main paramedics team and receiving just a bit of attention for that contact. Hopefully, though, he'll be all right, and we'll see more from him later on, but we will keep you posted on that. We did see him in the immediate aftermath, I have to say, stood up there briefly out of the cart, but I wonder if just as the adrenaline hit, he realised he was perhaps in a bit of pain off the back of that. So we'll let you know as soon as we have confirmed status there. Otherwise, though, we are looking to have pretty much a full race restart on this. That's how it's going to work in terms of the race mechanics of it. So we'll have a rolling lap before getting going again. as indeed now the drivers head out on that. Bit of a reminder then of the grid, at least in the first few rows as it stood. Riley Bishop is your pole sitter in the number 35. Then it's the number 7 of Emily Cotty alongside Ben Horner and Tom Holden on your second row, with Owen Keenan and Jasmine Taylor on row 3. Row 4 was James Kell and Harris Roberts, and Albert Wilton and Max Rowley rounded out the top 10 of this one. And as I understand it, we will go for a full race restart off the back of that red flag, given how early it was called, opposite to what we saw with the red flag called in IAME M1 earlier on. That was so close to the end of that race that the full race result was declared. Here we will go for a race restart. No threat of rain in the air just yet. Midday was about the time, in about half an hour's time was the time that we were initially warned by the forecast that there might be something in the air of note. This race though will be absolutely okay. 7 minutes of racing plus a lap. Here we go again then. Riley Bishop will lead them away off the restart. Alongside was Emily Cotty, but it looks like Ben Horner may have had a great start there and got ahead into second place, or as Emily Cotty maybe got it back. We'll have to double check that one as they come through. Cleaner this time through turn number 2. No, it is Ben Horner who's up into second place there in the number 12. It looks to me like Cotty may have lost a few more positions as well. The likes of Tom Holden may have got by. We've got one kart stationary there at chicane 2. Some drama further down the order as the main patch streams through. I can see it's the number 33 who was stationary and is now got going again at the chicane. And that would make it Max Rowley, who started on the fringe of the top 10 here, and unfortunately for him, he's had a drama on this second start to this race. We have had some time taken off of this one off the back of that red flag. And there is a look from Ben Horner for the lead of the race on Riley Bishop. Beautiful move there into chicane number 2. And that is lead change there. Ben Horner ahead of Riley Bishop on lap 2 of this restarted Heat 1 for Junior Max. Riley Bishop though looking to fight back. He's all over the back still of Ben Horner in that number 12. Here we go then, as they come on to lap number 3. Ben Horner leads, Riley Bishop second, Owen Keenan in the 29 is third. Then it's Tom Holden and then Harris Roberts to round out your top 5, although there's a look there from Tom Holden on the tail, and there's contact there with the rear of Owen Keenan, and we've got a driver off. It's the number 87. And that is Tom Holden, who will be off. So he went for the move there. It didn't pay off. Harris Roberts now hounding the back of Owen Keenan as well. That was a costly moment there for Tom Holden, who now finds himself, he's got going again, I can see out my window, but he's gone right to the back of the pack here. Costly moment for Tom Holden. Ben Horner leads, Riley Bishop in second, then it's Owen Keenan, then it's James Kell now, who has come to the fore in 4th place. There he is in the number 31. Further back, we've got battling, and a big twitch there on turn in. That is the battle going on between Archie Flint and Albert Wilton. It was Albert Wilton who had a real twitch on the kart there on turning into chicane 2, but controlled it well. The reason he was pushing so hard is that Archie Flint had put a move in, and this is more battling. Callum Gauche battling away with Jasmine Taylor. Ben Horner with the fastest lap of the race as they come onto a new lap. And still they're battling away here, and that's a late dive to the inside. That's a beautiful move there by Callum Gauche on Jasmine Taylor. That's for 7th place. And that was almost a textbook Mansell-esque selling of the dummy there from Callum Gauche. to come back at Jasmine Taylor in the number 84. Plenty of battling as they come through the last sector here. With just over 2 minutes plus a lap left on the clock for this one. The 31 there is James Kell with the white helmet suit and cart livery, and that was a twitch on the exit as well. And does that leave him under threat from attack from Owen Keenan behind? Emily Cotty is back with them as well in the number 7. Harris Roberts staying, keeping honest with them as well. Then comes this next battle, which is Jasmine Taylor back past Callum Ghosh. I think that was the 84 back past the number 3. Through the boot section comes this battle over third place. It's some 1.7 seconds back from the lead 2. Ben Horner keeping Riley Bishop at arm's length. Arm's length here being about half a second. And then, as I say, about 1.3 seconds now back to this battle. James Kell absorbing the pressure so far from Owen Keenan and Emily Cotty behind them. Through chicane 2 they come. Harris Roberts trying to stay on the back of them as well. Then comes the battle of Jasmine Taylor, Callum Ghosh, Albert Wilton and Archie Flint, who have been battling and swapping positions pretty much throughout this. On to lap number 8 then. Once again, James Kell leads this train of 4 carts. Once again, he has a slightly wider entry, doesn't he, to that second hairpin, which I'm sure each time is giving Keenan just a sniff of an opportunity. Through the sweeper at turn 5. It does seem to just be part of Kell's natural line, though, through that corner. There we can see, we're just going to look at Rory Hinckley, who's trying to find a way to buy into that battle with Archie Flint. Last lap board is out then. Ben Horner, who put in a really neat move at chicane 2 early on, leads this one and still has 0.6 of a second in hand over Riley Bishop. And then there's this battle, which James Kell has been absorbing so much pressure so far. Into chicane 2, we've got a yellow flag out. That is for Ben Brock, I believe, who's become stationary in the latter sector of the lap. So costly for him in the number 90. That's 9-0. Here, though, is a man who's dealt with this race brilliantly. Clean move for the lead of the race, and will come through to take the checkered flag for Heat 1 of Junior Max. Riley Bishop in second, James Kell in third, Owen Keenan in fourth, Emily Cotty in fifth, Harris Roberts with the fastest lap of the race to come home in sixth. Then it's Jasmine Taylor, Callum Ghosh, Albert Wilton and Archie Flint to round out the top 10 in a dramatic Junior Max Heat 1. As I say, we hope Alex McCulloch is going to be okay and cleared for racing later on. That was the cause of the red flag there. But there's your provisional result for Junior Max Heat 1 for round 8. Stay with us here on your Alpha Live broadcast. It will be Heat 1 for Intermax coming up in a moment's time here at Fulbeck. Intermax Heat 1 then going out onto circuit here at Fulbeck. Oscar Roach on pole position, Jensen Sale alongside. JJ Plowman and Noah Moulton are on row 2. Jensen Walker and Jack Holmes are on row number 3. Row 4 is where we'll find Stanley Stafford and Jackson Hilton. Amrit Singh Atwell and Jay Birmingham round out the top 10. Layla Bell and Alexander Adams are row number 6. There's Charlie Hobbs and Luca Matikekia. William Collinson and Lewis Hall are on row number 8. And rounding out your 16-car grid for Heat 1 in Intermax. So getting ready here for the first race of the day for our Intermax class. Was Jensen Sale who took the win yesterday, which was his first trophy win on a Saturday. But in terms of what we have broadcasted to you this season, that belies the fact that it was his not his first win of the season. Actually, that's not true. Jensen Sale had taken a win at round 4, so we have broadcast one. Either way, away we go. Leading away there towards turn number 1, Oscar Roach. And I can see there, I think Jensen Sale might have had a bit of a challenging start there. I think he's lost some positions there. Sorry, I'll clarify what I meant. Yesterday was his first win on a Saturday. We have streamed his other wins in our broadcasts. This was his first time winning an odd-numbered round. It's interesting to see how he can get on today. This first lap, though, Oscar Roach has started well here. And at the end of lap 1, oh no, excuse me, I've missed something there in the latter part of that lap. Apologies there. JJ Plowman, it is, who's come to the head of the field. And so it wasn't just Jensen Sale who I saw had lost some positions. Oscar Roach has as well. Here is Sale under pressure. He's under pressure from Oscar Roach in that number 96. So JJ Plowman leads in the 5. Then it's Noah Moulton, Jensen Walker in 3rd, ahead of Jensen Sale and Oscar Roach. So your front row of the grid down to 4th and 5th. Into this boot section then comes the battle for that. You can see there the number 43 of Stanley Stafford following in 5th place. Apparently we are having a slight transponder issue reported on that cart, so we'll have to keep an eye visibly on where Stanley is, but right now it's showing correctly. Number 43 is in 5th place, chasing Oscar Roach. And there was Jackson Hilton having an earnest look there at Jack Holmes, I think it was, on the exit of turn number 2 as they come through the chicane. Through the turn 6 hairpin they come. I'd say, by the way, William Collinson has had some drama out there as well off the back of the pack in the number 74. And there is the stricken cart of Alexander Adams in the number 24. As the leaders begin the 4th lap of the race. You can see JJ Plowman leading out of the chicane there. Noah Moulton in 2nd, Jensen Sale in 3rd. Here we're back with Jensen Walker and Amrit Singh Atwell in 6th and 7th. There is your leader though. Haven't seen too much of him since that first lap, but that is JJ Plowman in the number 5. The 54 is Noah Moulton, keeping him honest. And then Jensen Sale in 3rd place, our winner from yesterday in round 7. Into this boot section they come then, and Moulton has really closed the gap up this lap, it has to be said. Taking the fight to JJ. Plowman it is who leads the championship coming into today, by the way. Jensen Sale in 2nd, Noah Moulton in 3rd in terms of championship standings, but it's still all to play for in that sense, as we're looking at Matikekia having a look there, having a battle with Layla Bell in the 33, who now has the attentions of Jay Birmingham in the 41, who pulls alongside Bell. as we cut back ahead here to Jack Holmes, who's just got by an Amrit Singh Atwal there, the 36. I think that was into the second chicane. The 36 now ahead of the 93 though. So Holmes ahead of Atwal, cutting back to the head of the field, and well we might, because it's closing up even more so between the top three. This has been the lap where Jensen Sale has caught up to them. Plowman, Moulton, Sale, that's your top three. And don't discount Oscar Roach as well, who's not too far off the back of them here. And we know has good pace because he was our pole sitter, so obviously had a good time of it in qualifying earlier on today. Good first sector for the lap for JJC's. He can pull out just a little bit of breathing space, but still very much has to keep his attention on the threat from behind. They've got a little bit of traffic as well, which I'm going to guess might be William Collinson. We saw that he was some drama that means he's well off the back of the pack, and he does a he does the civil thing there and pulls out of the way to let the leaders through. That's very nice driving from William there. And there is the move though for second place. Immediately through chicane number 1, Jensen Sale takes the position off of Noah Moulton, moved for second place from the trophy final winner yesterday, and that was very nicely done. We've not seen too many moves so far today into chicane 1, but Jensen Sale made that one look nice and easy. Can Moulton fight back? Can Jensen start to put the pressure on Plowman ahead? Still a fair bit of time left in this one for us to find out. On to lap number 7 then. JJ Plowman leads as he has done since the end of lap 1. Jensen Sale in second now after a move a lap ago. Fastest lap of the race from Oscar Roach brings him up onto the back of Noah Moulton here. So they've almost paired off a little bit in that top 4. Through the second chicane. You can see the commitment from all these drivers. It has to be said that Jensen Sale seems to be reeling in Plowman just a little bit more here. Into this boot section. Plowman can focus on his exit. It's very difficult to get past done there through this last corner and onto the pit straight again. 2 more laps to go of this one in Heat 1 for Intermax. And another fastest lap of the race from Jensen Sale to really apply the pressure here. This is what sprint racing strategy and technique is about. You ramp up for a final charge. He's going to have a look into chicane 2, and that's nicely done. And Plowman goes straight on there at the chicane, and that's Sale through. Now Plowman, I don't know if you feel, there wasn't any contact that I observed there, but he can't be seen to gain an advantage. Obviously he's got the disadvantage that he's no longer leading the race, and he's been passed now by Moulton as well. So Jensen Sale into the lead, and with a bit of a gap after that little contretemps at chicane 2, 8/10 to the good is Sale. Moulton in second. Plowman just felt the need to bail out of that one and go straight on at chicane 2. Moulton then, there is a move from the 96 of Roach, and Roach is through on Plowman at exactly the same place as where the lead was lost a lap ago for Plowman, and Plowman's now down to 4th here, unless he can mount a charge back in the latter part of the lap, but it's a difficult place to execute a pass. Jensen Sale comfortably out in the lead here now as the others battle behind him, and he's going to come through now to take the win for Intermax Heat 1 for round 8 of the Rally Replay SuperOne Series. Jensen Sale wins at Fulbeck ahead of Noah Moulton and Oscar Roach. JJ Plowman in 4th, Stanley Stafford in 5th. Then it was Jensen Walker in 6th, Jack Holmes in 7th, 8th for Jackson Hilton. Amrit Singh Atwal and Luca Matiketia rounds out the top 10. That was drama towards the end there, but I mean, I know that Plowman went straight on, but as far as I could see it and call it, that was a fair move from Jensen Sale, a bold move into chicane 2 there that brought him into the lead. So we say that Jensen Sale, provisionally at least, is your race winner there in Intermax. It will be the last of our Heat 1 races coming up next before we head into the lunch break. And don't forget, in that lunch break, we'll bring you the drivers' parade here at the circuit, as well as the interviews with our class winners from round 7 yesterday here at Fulbeck. Last heat to go, though, before that is going to be Heat 1 for our senior Rotax class. Getting ready then for the last of our Heat 1 races here at Fulbeck for round 8 of the Rally Replay SuperOne Series for 2024. Let's take you through the grid for the senior Rotax class. James Kacholek will lead them away from pole position here, with Marcus King alongside. Zaki Hussein, who took home the spoils yesterday in round 7, starts third. Bit of a pattern there, isn't there, with the round winner starting in third place. Jake Riches will be alongside him. Elliot Thomas and George Sanders make up row 3, with row 4 occupied by Reese Pope and Cameron Crockett. Jacob Jukes and James Parrish round out the top 10. Then Billy Edgecombe and Salvador Newman on row 6. Tom Nottingham and Lewis Wilder next, with Max Davis and Ollie Naylor on row 8. Sky Fraser and Alfie Barron Oxbury are on row 9, and the top 20 is rounded out by Tom Taylor and William Young. Zach Fletcher and Kira Harris are on row 11. Tom Sully rounds out a 23-kart grid for senior Rotax here at Fulbeck. The last of our Heat 1 races, the last of the times we will see the drivers enter their racing campaigns afresh for today. Billy Edgecombe is your championship leader coming into today, and he's got there courtesy of 3 finals wins. Same with Zaki Hussein, who claimed that honour yesterday. Here we go then. James Kacholek will lead them away for 7 minutes plus a lap of racing, heading towards the hairpin. Remember, they miss out the first chicane here as they barrel into what is turn 2 for the first time. Is it all clean through that corner? It looks good to me as they head towards chicane 2 for the first time. Breakaway group of 3 here at the front. And it is Zaki Hussein who's got through, I can see, at the start. Was just great off the line, I think. And had already got the job done by the hairpin. So it looks like the 13 of Zaki Hussein is leading them through. And Kacholek, I think, has been relegated to second in all that as they come round to finish lap number 1. Hussein, it is indeed who leads. Kacholek in second. Jake Riches has got up to third ahead of Marcus King. Then it's Elliot Thomas, George Sanders, Jacob Jukes, Reese Pope, James Parrish and Edgecombe to round out the top 10. Oh, we've got an issue there for one of the carts. That is an issue for the 75 of Tom Nottingham, who's pulled off to one side and allowed his fellow competitors through. So that's gutting for the driver of the number 75 kart. Tom Nottingham racing for the Tom Day Racing operation. Boot section we come though. See Elliot Thomas there in the 37, challenging Marcus King over 4th place. Tom Nottingham unfortunately dropping down the order. Something's happened as well to William Young, I think, as well, to drop him to the back of this one. And indeed, I'm hearing that's because he's off. In fact, yes, I can see it out of my window, the 22. In fact, you can see it there now on the shot. That is the 22 of William Young, so that is why he's dropped down to the bottom of the order. He'll take no further part in this race. I have seen, I think that is a cart issue though. I can see William stood next to a marshal post. He's just made his way to the safety of the nearest marshal post. So retirement for him as well, disappointedly. Hopefully we'll see more of him later. So a couple of drivers facing issues. Changes for position on that last lap. Billy Edgecombe working his way up through the top 10, has got by on James Parrish that lap. Fastest lap of the race from Marcus King in the 26 kart. And you can see that he's applying pressure there on the back straight on Jake Riches. So let's call them through as they come through. We're looking at some of the drivers further down coming through chicane number 2. Zaki Hussein leads, there he is, then it's Kacholek. Jake Riches under a lot of pressure from Marcus King. Elliot Thomas and George Sanders, your top 6 as they're coming through. Has that been a change there? Because suddenly Elliot Thomas is right on the back of Marcus King. Yes, it is, and that's because that was down for Jake Riches on that lap, down to 6, and I think that attack came into the turn 6 hairpin. There's Marcus King in the red and white with the 37 of Elliot Thomas, now battling over 3rd place, and that's because Jake Riches is now down in 6th place in the number 12. There's a look as well. I think that was James Parrish trying to come back up through the top 10. Final corner of this lap, then on to lap number 6. Jake Riches leads a frenetic pack, battling over 8th place. Jake Riches, Cameron Crockett is the number 5, and he has a good corner exit there, but can't quite do anything with it. Will that leave him under attack from Reese Pope into this second chicane? They all stay as they are for now. Riches, Crockett, Pope. Now having a look, Reese Pope attacks on Crockett, and I think that's job done. We cut back to the battle over 3rd place here. Marcus King leads Elliot Thomas, George Sanders and Jacob Dukes as Kacholek sets a new fastest lap as he tries to reapply pressure to Zaki Hussein at the front. Battle for 3rd comes through the chicane. And is there any room there on the inside for Elliot Thomas? He definitely takes a tighter line. But Marcus King gets good drive off the corner. Stay as they were through chicane number 2. Marcus King definitely a bit looser through the corners at the moment. You can see as well, Billy Edgecombe starting to come up onto the back of this. Momentum Motorsport driver. Through the chicane again, then comes that battle. Hearing that the number 12 of Jake Riches has retired. Well, that's going to be disappointing for him because he was running really well at the front of this one. Double check, see if he's still coming through on the transponder, but I'm being told that he may have had to park up for this one. We're still with the battle over 3rd place. Marcus King leads Elliot Thomas still in that 37. George Sanders next, ahead of Jacob Dukes, and then it's Billy Edgecombe. As they come through turn 2 once again. And now heading towards chicane 2, and that's a move there. Jacob Dukes by on George Sanders, if I'm not much mistaken. Still battling side by side as they come through turn 6. Change for position confirmed. Jacob Dukes ahead of George Sanders it was. Marcus King then, still in this 3rd place. The gap between the top 2, by the way, need to keep an eye on that. It's 0.3 of a second between Hussein and Kacholek. And Kacholek does have the pace advantage at the moment over the last couple of laps. He's just been able to reel in a few hundredths each lap. There they are. So we'll keep an eye on that. But here is the battle over third place. You just spread out a little bit. You can see now that George Sanders and Billy Edgecombe are just a little way off the back now, as that is a move on Elliot Thomas by Jacob Jukes, and that's through for Jukes. So nice little move there. And he's by on Elliot Thomas, who's been sat in that fourth place for most of the race. Last lap board has been shown then. Kacholek is 0.3 of a second off the back of Zaki Hussein. So if Hussein can just keep up the pace, and indeed there is the fastest lap to confirm. He's just holding him at arm's length. Billy Edgecombe has made a move on George Sanders, you can see, and he was having to defend there. We cut back to the lead as they come into chicane 2. It's going to take something quite extreme here for Kacholek, I think, to put a move in, but he's kept him very honest throughout. Coming down towards the boot-shaped complex then, Zaki Hussein, who took the finals win here yesterday, is going to come through to take heat number 1 here for round 8 of the Rally Replay SuperOne Series. James Kacholek in second. Marcus King hands on for third, ahead of Jacob Jukes and Elliot Thomas. Billy Edgecombe did manage to hold off that attack we saw briefly from George Sanders at the start of that last lap. Then it's Reese Pope in 8th, Cameron Crockett in 9th, Ollie Naylor in 10th, Salvador Newman in 11th, ahead of Lewis Wild, Sky Fraser in 13th, Alfie Barron-Oxbury in 14th. I think there may have been I'm not quite sure, we've had a few drivers there who've had dramas, haven't we? 6 laps down then is Jake Riches, so I think we did see him retire from this one. James Parrish as well with dramas, Max Davies in 17th, Tom Taylor, Tom Nottingham and William Young. We had quite a few people have to pull up at the side of the road or go into the pits there, so hopefully we'll see them have a better time of it later on. Zaki Hussein then with the 34 points for that win in that one, and then James Kacholek in second will get the 33, and King will get the 32, and so on and so forth. It's 1 point difference all the way down there. That's the end then of the Heat 1 running here at Fulbeck. Do hope you've enjoyed the coverage so far from Alpha Live of round 8 of this Rally Replay SuperOne Series. We're going to enter into the lunch break now. We'll be returning back to racing action at around about 1:45. In the meantime, though, we're going to have coverage, live coverage of the driver parade, which I can just see is just getting assembled outside. A great opportunity to see all of our competitors who are with us here today at the circuit. And after that, we'll be bringing you some interviews from yesterday with the winners of round 7. So do stay with us here on your Alpha Live broadcast. And as I say, we'll be back in around 45 minutes, 40 to 45 minutes, with the resumption of our racing action. But do enjoy the content we have in the interim. Just getting ready for the driver parade then. That'll be next here on your Alpha Live broadcast here at Fulbeck.
Suits up. I know it's hot, but. No, look at his, perfect, yours. There, and straight.
Take a nap. Just take a nap. Take a nap. It was you! You're like, oh! 4 tornadoes in a row! 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm the only Tommy. You're the only Tommy in there. See, I'm going to get a blood. Sit on my helmet. Oh, down on this again. The SuperOne feel. SuperOne feel. Imagine this everywhere in the top. Oh yeah, that would. I literally couldn't wait. What number are you using?
got?
So many people have Lewis Hamilton ones. Only how many people have so many of them? Just damn long line helmets. Look at it.
Hurry up, guys, this end. You take your time. How was lunch?
Stop live.
6 up, boys. Get ready, we're going to do the live. As soon as these two got dressed, we're ready to go. Yeah.
Ready, boys?
Right, we're ready, guys.
I quickly eat. I don't care. That's live. That's live. I don't think that. I don't think I'm gonna like this. Making so much nervous.
Okay, you've got to be here to win it. So your name, you must be here to win it. Zach Fletcher. Zach Fletcher.
He isn't here.
Isn't here. Sam Flynn. Guys, all down this end with your helmet. Nicholas, come here. Come here. Wait. Oh, wrong person. Where's he gone?
You look like such a freak putting your helmet on.
Want to be in it, that side, if not, okay. Everyone else, go to the front. Come this way, come in. Josh, you go to the front. Get belly. Okay, people at the back, come in a bit.
All right, we're down here on the podium then for round 7 of the Rally Replay SuperOne Series. We're here with our winner today in Bambino C50, Will Wainwright. Well done. How does it feel to have taken the win here today?
Good. I love that. Yeah.
Good stuff. And tell us about what was the story of your dad? Tell us about your heat races. What happened in those?
They were sort of good, yeah. Some of them had to start from pit lane. Yeah.
Did I hear your dad right telling me you started from the pit lane and then worked your way up to a top 10 there?
Yeah. Top 10, yeah.
Really good progress there. Really good progress there. What's your favourite track, Will?
Wilton Mill.
Nice. Good choice. Good choice. Particularly being as we're going there next after this race meeting. So that's great. And is there anyone you'd like to thank off the back of today's win?
Tim Lego. For my engines. And my dad.
I think that's a good choice. That's brilliant. Well done, Will, on the victory, and all the best for tomorrow, and thank you for talking to us.
Thank you.
Here on the podium then with our winner here for round 7 of the Rally Replay SuperOne Series at Fulbeck for senior Rotax. It is Zaki Hussain. Zaki, congratulations. It's been an interesting day, changeable conditions here at the circuit. Can't quite remember how that may or may not have influenced tyre decisions in seeing as it didn't. Okay, either way, talk us through your day.
Yeah, we just got good quality, qualified first, and then got a gap at the start of the heats and then just maintained it. Same in final. So yeah, it was good.
Brilliant stuff. Is Fulbeck a circuit you've raced that much and had much success at before?
2 years ago in junior, but other than that, nah, not really.
Okay, and at this point in the championship, round 7, how's the season campaign going for you in general?
Well, we were 14th coming into this round, but I don't really know where we are because we haven't dropped our GYG round because we didn't do it. So, yeah.
It's a good point. Drop scores still to come in. What do you feel makes a good lap around this Fulbeck circuit?
Just good braking. Like if you can get the car stopped and on the curbs and stuff like that, then yeah, you can get a good lap in. That's it.
Nice and simple. You make it sound so simple. Brilliant. Anyone that you'd like to give a shout out to saying thanks off the back of today's success?
Yeah, my mum and dad, TWR for helping me out, Gabby Weyer, A Jewelers and Big B's, and everyone else supported.
Brilliant stuff. All right, well, thank you for talking to us, Zaki. All the best for tomorrow in round 8.
Thank you.
All right, then. Back here at the podium for round 7 of Rally Replay SuperOne. We're here with our winner in Micromax here today, Alfie Garrett. Alfie, well done. We were just saying off camera, it's the first time we've had a chance to do this interview. You've had several wins this year, but it's been on Sundays, not the Saturdays. So well done for that. And tell us how your day went. Maybe talk us through your heats and that final that brought you to be standing here talking to us.
In qualifying, got hang of P1, got a great start for Heat 1, carried it through. Heat 2, started P1 again, got through the pack. I had a good start. I went through the pack and then I stuck.
That was that. And the finals, how was the end?
Final, I got the lead, went through, pulled a gap, but then Ansel started to put some pressure on me, so got worried a bit. But then last lap came, and I was like, yeah, I've got this.
Brilliant stuff. Now, I think it's worth us mentioning this is your 4th finals win of the year, if that memory serves correctly. How do you feel the season's going?
Great. We got to second. This might put us up first. Maybe. I hope we do.
Brilliant stuff. Quick fire questions then. What's your favourite circuit?
Larkhill, Scotland.
Nice choice. Interesting choice. Who's your favourite driver?
Lando Norris.
Also a good choice. Brilliant stuff. And is there anyone that you'd like to say thank you to off the back of today's win?
My family, Apollo Tyres and RCE.
Brilliant stuff. Thank you very much for talking to us, Alfie. All the best for tomorrow.
Thank you.
Here on the podium then, with another one of our podium finishers, taking 3rd place here today in round 7 and taking the Girl Power Award as a result. 3rd place in Junior Max, Emily Cotty. Emily, congratulations. Talk us through the day. Changeable conditions, looked a bit frenetic out there at times.
Yeah, in Heat 1 we had a bit of damage, so we finished, I think, in 15th. And then in the second heat, we finished in 4th, I think. And then it was like raining a bit and it was a bit slippery. And then in the final we started 8th and finished 3rd, so that was good, yeah.
And yeah, it's. I wanted to talk a bit more about your season. We're at the end of round 7. You're right in there with this championship. You've had really consistent results. So, yeah, how's the season felt to you, and how much are you thinking looking ahead to the rest of the year?
Yeah, the season's been good. I mean, GYG was a bit hard because we haven't been there for like a year, and then the rest of the rounds have been good and just getting faster every round. So the next 3 rounds should be good. So yeah.
Brilliant stuff. Anyone you'd like to say thank you off the back of today's success on the podium?
I'd like to say thanks to Rally Replay, Scott, my mechanic, and everybody in Rally Replay, and then everybody else who's like helped along the way.
Brilliant stuff. Thanks for talking to us, Emily. All the best for round 8.
Thanks. Cheers.
We're here then with another one of our class winners here today at Fulbeck for round 7 in the Rally Replay SuperOne Series. It's Jensen Sale, our winner in Intermax. Jensen, congratulations. Tell us the story of your day, the heats and through to the final that brings you to be standing here talking to us.
So qualifying, I just got on pole by very close. The top 4 were within a quarter of a tenth. And then Heat 1, I just pulled a gap, and that was virtually it. And then Heat 2, I didn't get the best of starts, which means I dropped back, and then I had to fight my way back through, but luckily I still got it. And then in the final, I didn't get a good start again. I dropped down to 5th, and then I came back through and just took the win.
Brilliant stuff. And yeah, changeable conditions, lovely right now in the paddock, but changeable conditions today, has that impacted you much?
No, not really, because when we've been going out, it's been slicks, so it's quite lucky.
Yeah, absolutely. Your 2nd finals win of the year. How's the season going, would you say? Give a summary as we're beyond that halfway point now.
I think I've got a chance of winning, but it'll just come down to the final round at Shennington.
Brilliant stuff. And yeah, anyone you'd like to thank off the back of today's win?
TW Racing, my family, all my sponsors, Force and GW Driver Development.
Brilliant stuff. Thanks for talking to us, Jensen. All the best for round 8 tomorrow.
Thank you.
We're here with back on the podium for round 7, and we're with our winner in Rotax 177, Mr. Nathan Chafer. Congratulations, sir. Talk us through the day, your heats and your final. How'd you come to be standing here with us?
So we qualified pole by a 10th, and then Heat 1 we took the win. Then Heat 2 we made the wrong tyre choice, ended up right down at the bottom, but we started 5th for the final and we worked his way up and took the win. So it's my local track and I'm happy with the win. It's good.
Yeah, brilliant stuff. You've competed at Fulbeck before with SuperOne?
Yeah, competed back in 2016 where I did really well, qualified pole, but then had a short incident in Heat 2 which cost my weekend. So we're coming back again in 2024 now, and it's good. We took a win, so I'm happy with that.
Brilliant stuff. So it's your local track. We've had changeable conditions. What makes for a good lap around Fulbeck?
You just got to drive really smooth around here, and yeah, and it's a really technical track. And I've done years around here, so I know it back of my hand. And yeah, it's just good.
Lovely stuff. Well, and anyone else you want to thank as well off the back of the win?
I'd like to thank my mum and dad, Force Motorsport for the engines, CRG England for the great karts, yeah, and my little race team I got back at home, NCR, and everyone in there coming to support me today.
Brilliant stuff. Well, thanks for talking to us. All the best with your racing for round 8 tomorrow.
Thank you, thank you.
Okay, we're back here on the podium then for round 7 of the Rally Replay SuperOne Series here at Fulbeck, and we've got our winner in IAME M1 today, Ralph Martin. Ralph, congratulations. Your first win since round 2, if I remember correctly. How does it feel to have taken another finals win?
Well, I did through the championship. I haven't had that good because it's either the engine or the chain that came off, and since round 2 I haven't had good luck, and it's just backfired.
Okay, and how did that final race go? Obviously well, but tell us a bit about how the race went.
Well, on the final lap, we were going through, so we were going through a bend, and there was 2 drivers in the track side by side, and I went past, and Freddie, who was second, he had to go around the outside of one, then down the inside of one to get the move done, and that just gave me the space to win.
Lovely stuff, well done. And the heats, how did the earlier races go for you today?
It wasn't the best in qualifying because someone got a toe off me, and I got third because I had my own air. And heat 1, the front 2 got away, and I was in my own air. And finally, heat 2, I got into, I couldn't see the lights, and then everyone got past me, and then the rain started to come, and everyone went wide, and I just got down the inside.
Okay, yeah, changeable conditions, of course, that we've had as well. What's your favourite circuit, Ralph?
Probably Shennington.
Okay, nice choice, being as we're going there later in the year. And is there anyone you'd like to thank off the back of today's success?
My dad, RCE, my coach, and my mechanic.
Lovely stuff. All right, thanks for talking to us, Ralph, and have a good day's racing tomorrow.
Thank you.
Okay, then we're back here on the podium with another one of our class winners here today at Fulbeck for round 7. We're here with Ryan White, who took the win in Honda GX200 Cadet. Talk us through your day, Ryan. Congratulations. How do you come to be standing here? Talk us through your heats and, of course, that final.
Yeah, well, to be honest, today's not been the best for us. The first heat, I went off into the barrier. In the second heat, very rainy. I made a few mistakes, which cost me potentially first or second. Came third. And then in the final, well, I just drove my best. I got to the front. I held my position at the front. And then on the last lap, Ricky McIntosh tried to do a move on me. I kept her on the outside, and then chaos broke out on that corner. Obviously, I got away and then won the race.
Yeah, brilliant stuff. Always competitive with Honda Cadets, isn't it? And yeah, what's your favourite track, Ryan? Talk us through that.
My favourite track's probably PFI. It's definitely PFI.
Okay, and but let's turn it back to this one. What makes a good lap around Fulbeck?
Around Fulbeck, I wouldn't actually know. I haven't been here in a year. This is my first time here in a year, so I wouldn't know.
Brilliant stuff. So great and competitive straight out of the box. Bodes well for tomorrow. Quick fire question. What's your favourite food?
Pizza.
Good answer. My answer as well. And is there anyone you'd like to thank for today's win?
I would like to thank Project One Race Group, Piers, and my dad, and the rest of the family that's supporting me.
Brilliant stuff. Thanks for talking to us, Ryan. Well done, and all the best for tomorrow. And well done on putting up with one of my quickfire questions randomly there. Well done. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Another one of our class winners here then on the podium, top step of the podium for round 7 today. Our winner in Junior Max, Tom Holden. Congratulations. Talk us through the day. Changeable conditions seem to be a theme, certainly.
Yeah, so in qualifying, we managed to get second, only a few hundredths away from pole, and then throughout the 2 heats, we managed to get both wins, I'm pretty sure, through penalties, but second on tracks, and then starting pole in the final, I managed to just maintain my position.
Brilliant stuff. And yeah, it's Fulbeck, a track you've run much before and had much success at.
Yeah, we've had some success here before. We didn't do too badly last year, starting from the back, and we won in a Cadet here a few years ago.
Brilliant stuff. And the season, tell us how we go. We're up at the end of round 7. How's the year been going for you?
It was going really well, and then obviously we got disqualified at Rowra, and we dropped a few points and a few places in the championship, but a few good rounds, I think we'll be back where we were.
Brilliant stuff. Anyone you want to give a shout out to, say thanks to off the back of today's win?
My mum, my dad for mechanic, and my sponsors.
Brilliant stuff. Cheers for talking to us, Tom. All the best for tomorrow.
Thank you very much.
Welcome back to your live feed on your Alpha broadcast of round 8 of the 2024 Rally Replay SuperOne Series, coming to you from Fulbeck in Lincolnshire. We're in the middle of, I was trying to find a good way to explain to me, if you drew a triangle from Newark-on-Trent to Grantham to Sleaford, we're in the middle of that triangle. That's the best way I can describe it. It's a very beautiful part of the world, but I'm struggling to find good reference points. We're obviously near to the village of Fulbeck. RAF Fulbeck was a facility in the area back in the day. This track is one of the old school tracks of the United Kingdom. History goes back to the 1950s here at Fulbeck, and there's been relatively little in the way of layout changes since then. Let's take a look at your grid for Heat 2 in the Bambino C50s. It is they who shall be kicking off this rotation of heats, the second rotation of the day ahead of our trophy finals, kicking off at around 2. Logan Hodgetts will lead them away for this one. Noah Wicklow alongside Will Wainwright and Henry Hales on row 2. Ernie Wade and Benjamin Schlivar on row 3. Hendrix Fallat and Jesse Bailey are on row number 4. Ollie West and Arthur Bowers round out the top 10. Then it's Arlo Gamble and Jax Wong. Wraith Owen and John Stevens are on row 7. Cole Parrish and Alex Marshall on row 8. Row 9 is Teddy Welsh and Max Armitt. Jackson Foots and Calvin Simon round up the top 20. Then it's Freddie Walker to round out a 21 kart grid for our Bambino C50s for Heat 2. And yes, we shall be keeping our eye on the skies and on the heavens for acts of Mother Nature and even acts of God if we get thunder and lightning, because thunderstorms are forecast at the moment, potentially for around 2 o'clock. So that would be towards the tail end of our second heats and as we go into our trophy finals. So it could get interesting here. We did have rain just after the drivers' parade. There has been a small smattering of rain, but it frankly melted away as quickly as it came. So I'm not expecting there to be a huge impact on the conditions for these Bambino C50 runners. 7 minutes of racing once again. Standing start, of course, as we get ready for more racing action. And away we go then to kick off the Heat 2 races. Good start from Ernie Wade in the number 11, I can see there, but it is still Logan Hodgetts. In fact, no, it's not. Noah Wicklow has got ahead of him there as they run down towards the hairpin. They miss out the first chicane on this first lap, remember. So Noah Wicklow takes first place. Ernie Wade challenging the back of Logan Hodgetts, but Hodgetts holds him off for now as they head down towards the second chicane, and that actually opens the door for Schlivar to have a look as well. I can see Henry Hales having a look too there in the 57 kart as they stream through. So it's Wicklow, Hodgetts, then Wainwright and Hales. That's the order they are at turn 6. Heading down towards this boot section for the first time. The heel of the boot they go, and already Wicklow's got a little bit of a gap at the front of the field as they come around to finish lap number 1. So Noah Wicklow leads, then it's Hodgetts, Will Wainwright, Henry Hales, and Ernie Wade, who I thought had a really good start, but couldn't do anything with it. Kind of got a bit blocked in on the run down to the first corner, and he now finds himself under pressure from the likes of Benjamin Schlivar and Hendrix Fallat. And actually, that's a change there already on this second lap, because Schlivar is now ahead of Fallat. So that's a change for 6th place early on here. The gap has been reeled back in, though, to Wicklow here. Logan Hodgetts now on his tail as they head through this second chicane. Little breakaway group of 4, and there's another move there for Schlivar past Ernie Wade. So a good few corners there for Benjamin Schlivar in the BM plated kart. Wicklow, Hodgetts, Wainwright and Hales, your breakaway group. What sort of pace does Schlivar have now that he's at the head of that 5th place battle? Can he move on ahead and add to the 4 competitors at the front of the field? He's actually under challenge here from Ernie Wade. Look, trying to fight back over that 5th place. He holds on for now, does Schlivar. They're battling away as they head through the first chicane. Top 4 stay as they were. And indeed, Schlivar still in 5th, Ernie Wade in 6th. I think that might have been Ollie West, though, ahead of Fallat. We look, though, here at Henry Hales, pulling briefly alongside Will Wainwright. It stays as they are, and that's lost them a little bit of time, that exchange, to the likes of Wicklow and Hodgetts ahead of them, but still very much in touch. They'll probably reel that in within a few corners, and yes, Ollie West is indeed ahead of Hendrix Fallat. And Arthur Bowers involved now as well as they stream out of turn 6. I think Fallat might have dropped a couple of positions there. We will double check that as they come through, because right now we're looking at our top 4. You can see the clouds looking a little bit ominous in the distance there. Yes, indeed. Hendrix Fallat is now behind Arthur Bowers, so it was 2 positions lost there. Fastest lap of the race from Will Wainwright. Sees him get back up onto the back of Logan Hodgetts here. Still Noah Wicklow leads. Logan Hodgetts in 2nd, Will Wainwright in 3rd, Henry Hales in 4th. And then Benjamin Schlivar still leading this train here. Of Ernie Wade, Ollie West, Arthur Bowers and Hendrix Fallat. Then we just caught sight of John Stevens in 10th, leading the next pack of karts. Streaming through the 2nd chicane now. And actually, that's not John Stevens leading that at the moment now, is it? I think Arlo Gamble may have got by there. The 72 is definitely at the front of this train. Back to our lead pack. Wicklow through the final corner of lap number 4. Nose to tail then in amongst the top 3. Henry Hales still very much in touch with them, but a little further off the back. Streaming through chicane number 1 here. Another fastest lap of the race from Will Wainwright. We'll be applying the pressure here to Logan Hodgetts. That's worth bearing in mind that yesterday, if, and I say if, because he's under plenty of pressure at the moment, but if Noah comes through to win this heat, he will have had a straight sweep of heats wins throughout this weekend. It was Will Wainwright who took that win. We were hearing from him during the lunch break. Oh, that's a move there. That was Ollie West getting by on Ernie Wade, and they're side by side on the exit. But yeah, I think Ollie West has got that job done. So nice move there through turn 6 from Ollie West past Ernie Wade, and that is a change for 6th place. The 0 now ahead of the 11. There he is, still with Arthur Bowers and Hendrix Fallat close on their tail. Calman Simon leading the pack behind, which has changed around quite a bit, because it's now Simon, Stevens, Owen and then Gamble. That's on the pack behind this one as Ernie Wade has a look to the inside of Ollie West again, and they're both going to be out wide. He's through, they're both still on the tarmac, but that's allowed Bowers and Fallat through as well on Ollie West. That was a really costly moment for Ollie West there. It was robust racing, certainly, there with Ernie Wade. Chose to hang the competitor out to dry, but he did have his kart alongside. He did have, I suppose, his line to take. Just ended up being quite a costly moment there for Ollie West, although he's already fought back, getting by Hendrix Fallat there. So Ollie West wants to get back to where he was, and indeed higher if he can. Good little battle this between these drivers. We cut back to the leaders, and well we might. That's Logan Hodgetts down the inside of Noah Wicklow into chicane 1. Change for the lead there, as they're on what will be the penultimate lap now. And he did it without losing too much time, it looks to me, to Will Wainwright, who's still really applying the pressure here. Wicklow takes a wider entry into chicane 2. Trying an alternative line to maybe get better drive off of the corner. Defensive line from Hodgetts here as they head into 5. Might that leave him exposed to attack into 6? It will leave him exposed to attack into 6. There's Wicklow up the inside and through again into the lead of the race. And now Will Wainwright fancies his chances, tries to pull a slightly different line here He's looking for any which way to buy into this as well, as they'll come round the final corner to see the last lap board on the gantry. Coming on to the final lap then. Wicklow leads as he did a lap ago, but you and I, dear viewer, knew that there was some action on that last lap. It's not an official lead change unless it's confirmed at the end of a lap, but there was a real challenge from Hodgetts on that last lap, but he's got to be careful here that he doesn't open the door to Wainwright as well, and Wainwright's going to take a late apex through this second corner, although it's hard to make that one work for you because of the nature of that hairpin. Heading towards the second chicane. Wainwright taking the wider sweeping line through. How defensive does Wicklow go? He goes mid-track here into 5. Not as defensive as we saw from Hodgetts, and Hodgetts is actually a little far back here to make the move. And as I say, he's got to be careful if he does, because of the threat from Wainwright behind. Into the final complex of this last lap for Noah Wicklow. And he's going to come round the last corner. He's been made to work hard for this one, but he will take a clean sweep of Heat wins this weekend. He wins Heat 2 for Bambino C50s at round 8. Wicklow with the win. Hodgetts in second, still bagging some good points. Drama for Ernie Wade on that last lap, dropping down the order. I could just see there at the corner of my eye. Will Wainwright in third, fourth for Henry Hales, then Benjamin Schlivar held on to the lead of that pack we saw battling all race long. Ollie West in sixth, Arthur Bowers in seventh, Hendricks Fallot in eighth, Ernie Wade across the line in ninth, so dropped to the back of that pack, battling over fifth place on the final lap. Calman Simon in 10th, ahead of Jesse Bailey, Wraith Owen, Arlo Gamble in 13th, 14th for John Stevens, ahead of Cole Parrish, Alex Marshall and Teddy Welsh in 17th, Jax Wong in 18th. That's how they finish then for Heat 2 of Bambino C50s. Their points across those two heats will be collated together in order to determine the grid for the 9 minutes plus a lap trophy final that we shall see later on, kicking off at around 25 minutes past 2. What will the conditions be like then? One wonders. But for now, we'll keep the focus on what's going to happen immediately here at the track, which is going to be Heat 2 for our Honda Cadets. Keep one weather eye on the sky here at the circuit. Let's take a look at the grid for how they will line up for Heat 2 in our Honda Cadet GX200 class. Cian Sullivan will take this one away from pole with Shaylin Srikantan alongside. Luke McGall and Sebastian Burlington are on row 2 with Charlie Quine and Dino Rowland on row 3. And apologies to Dino, I think I mispronounced his name earlier on. Thank you for the clarification. Ryan White and Archie Cannon are on row 4. Peter Webster and Charlie Gregg round out your top 10. Jack White and Noah Clare are on row number 6. Jan Prakash and Eddie Duncan are on row 7. Freddie Drury and Daniel Hulse on row 8. Ollie Knox and Eloisa Burlington are on row 9. And the 19-kart grid is rounded out, and we saw high entertainment from working his way up through the order earlier on. Maybe we'll see that again from the number 14 of Ricky Jr. McIntosh. Back of the grid, but had some impressive overtaking earlier on, which saw him finish 5th in the end. So 19th to 5th he managed in heat number 1. Ryan White as well was an impressive one to watch in that one, to work up the order. I think off the back of a bit of a poor first lap, because he wasn't that low down on the grid, or isn't that low down on the grid I should say, in 7th place. So we'll be back to rolling starts now. But of course, missing out chicane 1 still on the first lap, that does not change, as is part of the supplementary regulations for this race meeting at Fulbeck. Do hope you're enjoying this coverage, courtesy of Alpha Live, with commentary from myself, Howard Mitchell of Double Dash Motorsport Media. It's my pleasure and privilege to be in the comms position for you here today. Don't forget, if you have missed any of the previous racing action we've broadcast this season, it's all available for you on the Alpha Live YouTube channel. Head over there and you can see the action from round 2 at GYG, from round 4 at Rowra, from round 6 that was at Clay Pigeon a month ago. This weekend we'll be heading to Wilton Mill and then to Shennington. We head to the kart circuits of the Midlands to wrap up this 2024 Rally Replay Championship. Say wrap up, there's a whole 4 rounds still to go, but you know what I mean. That's how we close out the season of Rally Replay SuperOne for 2024. Then here we go though for Heat 2 in our Honda Cadet GX200 class. Cian Sullivan will lead them away, and away we go indeed. You can see how much Srikantan is watching the pole sitters for their reaction, but he has lost out a bit there. Luke McGall has definitely come to the fore, as has Sebastian Burlington. As they peel it on, we've got contact at the back involving 4 karts. Daniel Holst was one of them, and so too was Freddie Drury in the 65. I'll have to check the others on timing. I didn't quite catch the number plates as they went round. But Cian Sullivan, it is leading the field through chicane number 2. Battling away there in the mid-pack. See Ollie Knox making some early progress because he started towards the back of the grid in 17th. He's definitely not there now. He's further up the order. They come round then to finish lap number 1. Let's just double check who has been involved in that incident. It looks to me like, well, Dino Rowlands has dropped a few positions, but is still running with the main pack. It looks to me like the karts involved were Peter Webster, Noah Clare, Daniel Holst and Freddie Drury. Those are the 4 drivers who I fear were involved, and I think Dino was involved in that as well, but didn't lose out quite as heavily, was able to stay with the main pack. Meanwhile, we're looking at Charlie Quine, having a look at Srikantan, it is, in the number 33, who must have just got by him, in fact, in that sense, because that's not how they started this lap. There is Ricky Junior McIntosh on the tail of Eddie Duncan. So McIntosh making more progress up the field, as we saw in heat number 1. I have to say, there are still some rather ominous looking clouds rolling over the circuit now. This could change fairly quickly for our drivers in terms of conditions, as there is a move from Archie Cannon on Shailen Srikantan. So Cannon on the move, and that's having got by on Charlie Quine last time as well. Cannon now up into 5th place. To say, all of the karts still running, by the way, even though we saw some of them beached quite far off, I should say, into the gravel at the hairpin on that one. Cian Sullivan with the fastest lap of the race then at the head of the field. Luke McGall in 2nd. Ryan White up to 3rd at this point, running really well there, is the driver in the number 47. Sebastian Burlington, the last of this pack of 4. And then comes this battle over 5th place. And that looked like McIntosh maybe having a look there at Srikantan. Indeed it was. So McIntosh passed Srikantan there, you can see. And he did that off the back of setting the fastest lap of the race last time around. So you can see there is Ricky Junior McIntosh, and he's now challenging Archie Cannon, and he's through there. I can see the 14 through. You can see black helmeted Ricky McIntosh now past the 42 of Archie Cannon and the 33 of Shailen Srikantan. So that is a big lap for Ricky McIntosh there. As they come through chicane 1, how much further can Ricky McIntosh go here? Because there's a bit of a gap to reel in. We look a little bit further back at the battle over 8th place, and I believe Charlie Gregg got by on Charlie Quine there through chicane 1, it looks to me. Indeed, there is the number 6 coming through. Now ahead of the IAME plate Oh, and that's the 44 off of J.M. Prakash. That's on the exit of turn 2 by the looks of it. So I wonder if there was just a little bit of a twitch on the exit of the corner, or maybe there was some contact with a fellow competitor. Not sure what happened there, but he will need some assistance to get going again. Another fastest lap of the race from from Ricky McIntosh, excuse me. Ryan White up to second place. This one bubbling away nicely for me. I think this could come to a boil quite nicely here, because there's not that much spread amongst the top runners here. There is also a little bit of traffic up the road as well for drivers who've had a drama of some kind. There is Sebastian Burlington, and there is Ricky McIntosh going up the inside at turn 6. Nice move there from Ricky McIntosh, who's really got the cart underneath him. I still don't know what the drama was in qualifying that meant that he was at the back of the grid for these 2 heat races, but he has nailed the art of coming up the order so far today. As Srikantan now is he's under pressure from Charlie Gregg there, and that is because they both got by on Burlington there. I think there may have been a costly moment for Sebastian Burlington, which means that they've both got by. Side by side here between Eddie Duncan and Jack Wykes, I believe that was briefly. Plenty of battles going on here. Yeah, Burlington is slowing down. Now, I saw him have a look down at his kart just before Ricky McIntosh went through a couple of laps ago. I wonder if that is just an issue with his kart that Burlington's got, because he is dropping back here, unfortunately. So, Cian Sullivan leads. Ryan White is 3/10 off the back of him. Luke McGall in third. Ricky McIntosh now joins the top 4. And what can he do, having caught up with them? Oh, and that's the 83 of Jack Wykes off the road. That, I think, is up at the top of the lap, because that's where some yellow flags are out, telling the drivers that they cannot overtake at the moment into turn 6. Here are your leaders coming through the boot section in what, oh, it's going to be tight actually as to whether this is the penultimate lap or they see the last lap board next time out. They just got across the line to mean there's 2 more of this one. So getting as much time out of this race as they can. Cian Sullivan still leading. Ryan White, though, applying plenty of pressure now in that 47 kart. Luke McGall has been sticking with them all through this race. And then Ricky McIntosh still showing fantastic progress up the field and has the fastest lap of the race. So could this be a frenetic last lap? They're coming up onto the back of, I think that might be J.M. Prakash, the recovering Prakash, after we saw him have that moment at the exit of turn 2 earlier in the race. Last lap board is out then for Cian Sullivan. He's controlled this one brilliantly throughout the whole race, but he has got some traffic to deal with, and he has got plenty of challengers behind. Coming through turn 2 now, and heading down this back straight, which has this slight kink in it before they have to think about their braking and turning for chicane 2. They are catching up to that traffic. Is there any opportunity here? Cian Sullivan will stay to the inside, and that's good driving there from, I believe it is the 44 of Prakash, to let his competitors through. That's good civil driving, as they say. Through this boot section then, I think his challengers are going to run out of road here to challenge him. Cian Sullivan will come across the line. It was a high-pressure race. It was a high-pressure last lap for certain, but Cian Sullivan holds on for the win in Heat 2 of round 8. Ryan White is in second place. Luke McGall in third. Ricky Junior McIntosh in the number 14 in fourth. Great drive up through the field once again. Archie Cannon in fifth. Shailen Srikantan in sixth. Ahead of Charlie Gregg, Eddie Duncan Charlie Quine in the IAM plate finishes in 9th, and Peter Webster in 10th place, which, considering where I think he had a difficult first lap, that is a good recovery there from Peter Webster as well. There's Noah Clare, Dino Rowland, Ollie Knox, Sebastian Burlington in 14th, Eloisa Burlington in 15th, Daniel Holst in 16th, Freddie Drury, J.M. Prakash. Jack Wykes had to, I believe, pull over at the side of the road and take no further part after we saw him stationary at the side of the road. That was Heat 2 for Honda Cadets then. Coming up next here on your Alpha Live broadcast of Round 8 here at Fulbeck is the Heat 2 for Micromax. Just a clarification off that stinger, it is just the Micromax class in action here today. We do not have IAME Water Swift Restricted in action. You can see the grey skies over the circuit now. Once again, everyone keeping a weather eye on the sky. Let's look at the grid though for Micromax. It will be Alfie Garrett who takes this one away from pole position. Ansel in the number 96 alongside him. Albie J. Stubbs in 3rd with Logan Stanley Jones alongside him. Ethan Lloyd and Freddie Blackshaw are the 3rd row of the grid. 4th row is where we'll find Elsie Gannon and Xavier Ramsey. Then it's Toby Cannon and Isla Parsons to round out the top 10. Daniel Stangerine and Mason Munzer are your 6th row of the grid. And then it'll be Jensen Darlow and Frank Morris to round out the 14-car grid for this Heat 2. Thought I just caught out the corner of my eye. We've got a sort of CCTV circuit cams here available in the box. I think it's spitting out there. I think we've got a very, very fine drizzle hitting the circuit now. Almost a haze, but it is starting to rain. So this is going to be an interesting one for these drivers in Micromax. They're all going to be prepared, I think, for dry conditions. Certainly doesn't look like they're all wearing rain suits, which is the other aspect of it. You sort of look for the comfort of the drivers that they're prepared for that. I'll just take a look actually as they come by. Yeah, the drivers are all on slicks here, I think. And we have got spitting rain on the circuit here, so this could be a very challenging race for these Micromax drivers. To remind you, these drivers are aged between 8 and 12. So young drivers learning. I mean, this is part of karting in the UK, of course. This is a skill that they very much need to hone, but definitely a challenge for these young drivers. I say they're aged between 8 and 12. You can actually compete in this age 7. You have to be in the year of your 8th birthday. So between 7 and 12, you can see the rain now coming down. This could be very challenging for these young drivers. Alfie Garrett there in the 42 is your pole sitter. Ansel in the 96 alongside him. Albie J. Stubbs and Logan Stanley Jones your 2nd row, ahead of Ethan Lloyd and Freddie Blackshaw. You can see the slippery surface flag there, the yellow and red striped to warn the drivers of the conditions. This will be a bit of a voyage into the unknown. Where are the braking points? Where are the turning points? Is there a point where a wet line starts to become a consideration? We're about to find out. Alfie Garrett leads them away into the unknown here at Fulbeck. He may have experienced these conditions a touch yesterday. It's Ansel who's the boldest into turn 1, though. He takes the lead. He's going to take the wide line around the outside. Can he find the grip? We've got incident there for the 99 and the 28. That is Elsie Gannon and Freddie Blackshaw, respectively. The rain's still coming down, but Ansel has been able to find the grip on the wide line there and retains the lead as they head into chicane 2 for the first time. The karts will be stubbornly trying to find grip there. We've got a driver off, 2 drivers right there on corner entry. We'll try and catch who that is. It's the 61 I can see of Jensen Darlow. Drivers squirreling around. You can see them go to the wider part of the corner, trying to find the grip out there on the more abrasive part of the track where less rubber has been laid down, and thus there's more grip available. Spin there. That's Ansel from the lead, who has spun there down at the sort of toe of the boot section there. So after judging that first few corners, most of the lap brilliantly, Ansel just losing control there, and it is Alfie Garrett, your pole sitter, who's back to the lead. First time into chicane 1 then for these drivers. Squirreling around. Oh, there's a twitch there on the exit for Alfie Garrett, and that's going to give the opportunity to Ethan Lloyd, who takes the lead as they head towards turn 2. If you've never driven a kart, as there you can see, under normal conditions, Daniel Stangery would have got past Isla Parsons then, but because he was on the inside, the kart just understeered wide. If you've never driven a go-kart on slicks in the rain, you can expect horrendous understeer as you turn in, and then as soon as the kart bites and starts giving you grip, you can welcome the unfriendly addition of chronic oversteer as the kart tries to twitch on you as you come out of the corner. It's about applying power as well. It's almost like if you're steering a boat, you know, you have to apply power in the direction you want to go. Alfie Garrett with good drive off of turn 6 though, manages to get back past Ethan Lloyd here to the 42 ahead of the 76. And Logan Stanley Jones is through on Ansel as well in the 73, I note. So all change amongst the top 4. Once again, Alfie Garrett leads ahead of Ethan Lloyd, and Logan Stanley Jones now up to 3rd. Into chicane 1 they go on lap number 3. Really impressed. I know we've seen a few incidents, but very impressed generally by the standard of driving between these drivers at the moment. Was that Toby Cannon and Xavier Ramsey I saw in the background having a battle off of chicane 1. It's Albie J. Stubbs you can see in the background there in 5th place, as is Logan Stanley Jones having a little look here at Ethan Lloyd. But he can't find the grip on the corner exit, and Lloyd, if anything, gets a little further away. As they come through the sweeper at 5, this is a difficult corner, and you can see Ethan Lloyd can't find the grip. Ansel can, though. He's going to think about having a move into turn 6, but then realises he's got to go to the wide, wet line through the turn 6 hairpin, lest he's going to find himself drifting wide if he tries to take the normal line. This boot section, I think, is quite difficult to work out where the grip is, because the line through there is more prescribed, if you like. It's not obvious that there is a wet line. And for a moment, Ethan Lloyd perhaps thought that he could challenge Alfie Garrett for the lead, but thought better of it. And well done to him for making that judgment call, because Garrett, I think, was focusing much more about hitting the apex of the next corner and keeping the kart on the island, which well he might. As on to lap number 4, then the drivers may be beginning to find a rhythm to these difficult conditions. It is still raining. It's not so that the rain stopped and it's not getting any wetter. It is still getting damper. Well, it's still getting, I'll say damper under the tyre then, as if saying underfoot. It's getting wetter all the time around this circuit here in Lincolnshire. Alfie Garrett seems to be making it work for him, that he takes a wide line in and then just shallows off the line in the latter part of the corner. That seems to be working well for him so far. And, has Ansel had a bit of a moment there, because he seemed to have dropped a little bit off the back of Logan Stanley Jones. He's still with them. Just taking a look further down the order, you can still see Albie J. Stubbs in the background there. He's judging the conditions really well. Oh, apologies. No. I've miscalled that. Albie J. Stubbs has lost some time on that lap. Xavier Ramsey now is up to 5th place in the background. And then here's Isla Parsons with Albie J. Stubbs behind her in the 19. And then the 17 there is Toby Cannon. So I think Stubbs may have had a bit of a moment in the last sector of last lap. And that's allowed Xavier Ramsey through. Back with the top 4. In fact, yeah, you can see Ramsey there just in the background. Ethan Lloyd having a look for the lead. Will he have the grip, though? He is going to have the grip. That was a nicely judged move there by Ethan Lloyd, but he's out wide at turn 6. And Alfie Garrett's going to come back at him. And indeed, Logan Stanley Jones and Ansel in the number 96 will both get back past Ethan Lloyd, will they? Or has he just about managed to hold off Ansel? I think he has. So that's Ethan Lloyd down to 3rd after an unsuccessful attempt for the lead on Alfie Garrett. Well, excuse me, briefly successful, but then couldn't get it stopped and turned in sufficiently for the hairpin at turn 6. Challenging conditions for these young drivers here at Fulbeck. Fastest lap of the race from Logan Stanley-Jones, though, beginning to find his feet in these slippery conditions. Toby Cannon past LBJ Stubbs, confirmed on the timing. That's for 7th place. As Alfie Garrett leads the leaders into chicane 2. Ansel has just dropped a little bit off the back of these top 3. In fact, Xavier Ramsey is really beginning to find a turn of pace in these conditions. Keep an eye on the number 14 catching up first to Ansel, and potentially he might have the pace to get on up onto the back of these 3 as well. Through into this boot section here comes Alfie Garrett. They'll see, they won't see the last lap board this time around. There'll be 2 more to go of this one. And that is that LBJ Stubbs at the side of the road. It is LBJ Stubbs at the side of the road. So costly moment for him. That is up at chicane 2 that happened. But he'll be gutted with that. He had been doing quite well, because Ethan Lloyd now sets the fastest lap of the race. These 3 are beginning to find their confidence in these conditions. Does he pull alongside on Logan Stanley-Jones? He does. Is he going to have the move on into chicane 2? He does. Nicely judged by Ethan Lloyd. We have seen some nice moves from him so far. This one, can he hold on to it? That's a little challenge back from Jones into 5. They both keep it on the tarmac. That is Ethan Lloyd up to 2nd place. And has he put himself in the pound seats? Well, he has put himself in the pound seats to challenge the lead at the crucial time, because they'll see the last lap board this time around. Coming through the final corner of this penultimate lap then, Alfie Garrett has done the best job so far of reading these conditions, but he is under a lot of pressure coming onto the last lap from Ethan Lloyd and from Logan Stanley-Jones. Ansel in the background responding to the pressure that was being brought to bear on him by Xavier Ramsey, although I know that Ramsey's actually fallen off the back, so maybe Xavier had a slight moment out there that we didn't see. Good first part of the lap from Alfie Garrett, just opening up a bit of a gap as they head towards chicane 2. I think the rain has actually stopped now. Just looking out the window, I cannot see the rain, but still greasy conditions. So here goes Ethan Lloyd up the inside of 5, but can't make that one stick. They'll have to go a little bit wide at least to find the grip in these greasy conditions at the turn 6 hairpin. Indeed they do. If Alfie Garrett can just keep it together through this boot section, I think he'll be on for a well-earned victory on this one. But Ethan Lloyd has always been strong through this last part of the lap. Oh, it's been a challenge for these young drivers, but a great win for Alfie Garrett in tough conditions. Ethan Lloyd showed great confidence in some of the moves he was pulling in that race as well. Finishes 2nd. Logan Stanley-Jones with fastest lap of the race to close it out. Ansel in 4th. Xavier Ramsey will come across the line in 5th. Toby Cannon in 6th. Isla Parsons in 7th. Then it's Mason Munzer, Freddie Blackshaw, and Daniel Stangerine round out the top 10. Elsie Gannon is next, and then we saw a few dramas out there for Jensen Darlow, LBJ Stubbs, and Frank Morris. Well, that was a challenge for these Micromax drivers, make no mistake about it, and on the whole I think they dealt with it with aplomb. It's going to be another lot of our young drivers out next here at Fulbeck in changeable conditions here. Coming up next will be Heat 2 for our IAME M1s. Drivers getting ready on the dummy grid then for IAME M1. The rain, as I say, has stopped now at the circuit, but the track remains a little bit greasy. Let's take a look at the grid then for how they line up for Heat 2 in IAME M1. It'll be Bodie Batch who starts this one from pole position. Freddie Baker alongside him. Ralph Martin and Patrick Wood are row number 2 with Leo Harang and Buster Scott on row number 3. Row 4 is where we'll find Oliver Woodall and Ethan Holm. Presley Knight and Logan Edwards rounds out the top 10 ahead of Jensen James Williams and Noah Myberg on row number 6. Ollie West and Freddie Dyer next with Heath Smith and Nicholas Anser on row number 8. Teddy Smith and Charlie Holmes are on row number 9. The top 20 rounded out by Daniel Genov, who we saw having issues right at the start. He couldn't get off the dummy grid, if memory serves correctly, earlier on, so hopefully he'll have a better time of it now. But what interesting conditions to take to the circuit for racing for the first time today. Ava Garrett alongside him to round out the top 20. Archie Ashworth and Max Joy on row 11. Hugh Riley and Harley Bebb round out the 24-kart grid for Heat 2 of IAME M1 for round 8 of the 2024 Rally Replay SuperOne Series, with broadcast coverage coming to you courtesy of Alpha Live, myself, Howard Mitchell of Double Dash Motorsport Media in the comms position for you. Oh, you can tell all of the circuit staff and officials have donned the appropriate apparel for the conditions. You can see Amelia Hoyle there just on the left of shot has donned the wet weather the wet weather clothing. So everyone here at the circuit spec'd and ready for if the heavens should open again. Just having a look at looking at various different forecasts here in the production room, but the one that I'm looking at, which I'm not going to name because then I'm going to have to credit all the different ones, but does suggest that we're going to have light rain of some description now. Between now and 3 o'clock is quite likely. Let's go racing though in IAME M1. Away we go. Bodie Batch leads them away in the 88 and has a good start. Ralph Martin as well immediately to driver's right off of grid 3. But Freddie Baker has been able to hold on to second, or has he? Because Ralph Martin goes to the inside. What are the grip conditions like now at turn 2? Seem pretty good. It remains, and it is Ralph Martin who takes second place from Freddie Baker through that second turn. Great start for Bodie Batch though in the 88. Ralph Martin, the only other driver who's really stayed with him. We've got an incident in the mid-pack there. One of them is the 21 of Logan Edwards, but he's able to resume in fairly quick order. The leaders, meanwhile, are going through turn 6 here. Looks to me like they're broadly using a dry line through there, so clearly they're feeling confident to use that. Baker there we saw coming through. It looks to be like is it Ollie West who's had a really good start? Let's check them as they come through. It is Ollie West who's had a great start. Bodie Batch leads, Ralph Martin in second. Ollie West in the 24 up to third, having started in 13th place. That's a ridiculously good start there for the driver of the number 24. Drivers who have had issues there, I think potentially it was Nicholas Anser involved in the incident the second chicane, because he dropped down the order a fair way, but is still part of the main pack, and Logan Edwards, the other driver I mentioned, who I think might have been involved there. As we're looking here at that is Leo Harang having got by on Freddie Baker during this lap, so Leo Harang now up to 4th, Freddie Baker down to 5th. And it's Patrick Wood who we just saw there applying the pressure now to Baker. Here is your lead battle, Bodie Batch versus Ralph Martin. Attempts to come through the last corner now. We pick up Patrick Wood again, pressuring Freddie Baker. This is over 5th place now. The 36 has a little look to the inside for chicane 1, but stays as they were. They were fairly even on the braking for that corner. Oliver Woodall in the 41 is behind them. Confirmed, by the way, Genov did take the start, So he'll be looking to score some good points here as Oliver Woodall pulls alongside Patrick Wood here, heading towards the second chicane, but Wood will have the inside line heading into that chicane and indeed manages to hold on to that 6th place. Has given a little bit of respite though for Freddie Baker, who prior to that was under a lot of pressure. We just looked at the leaders just then. Ralph Martin definitely keeping the pressure on for Bodie Batch here at the front of the field. Does look to me though like these drivers are broadly able to rely on the carts, gripping up and carrying them around on a regular dry line for the most part. There is Leo Harang putting pressure on the 24 of Ollie West, following Ollie's fantastic start to this one, making up some 10 positions on the first lap. That's a wide moment for Freddie Baker. That's going to allow Patrick Wood through, but Baker may be able to get him back on the switchback out of the corner. They're going to be alongside each other towards chicane number 2, but I think Patrick Wood will have the inside for that and be able to stamp his authority and claim that position. That is Patrick Wood up to 5th place in the 36, ahead of the 92 of Freddie Baker. Ahead of them, Ollie West still under plenty of pressure from Leo Harang. Quite different lines there through turn 6. Where does that leave them for the boot section at 7? That leaves Leo Harang out in front just, but Ollie West fights back in a robust manner. That was bold stuff from Ollie West to seize that position back through the boot. He was definitely compromised on the run to that corner, but played it back. Here though is the battle for the lead. Alongside Batch goes Ralph Martin, and up the inside goes Ralph Martin through the first chicane. Nicely executed there from Ralph Martin, and he sees himself up into the lead of this race with 2.5 minutes plus a lap to go. Warning has been issued to Oliver Woodall. He will want to be avoiding any more of that. And we are getting reports that, yes, I'm seeing it outside as well. Rain is coming again. It is raining right now at the circuit. As we mentioned, light rain throughout. And look, side by side for the lead. Bodie Batch almost understeering into Ralph Martin. And this is the challenge for these young drivers in these conditions. Are they able to read and get a feel for how the track is going to start changing now? Because the rain is coming down. I think it is still fairly light that it's coming down. But is it going to start affecting driving conditions? Are they going to be able to read that? Ralph Martin has the pressure of Bodie Batch behind him and understand these conditions. You can see the rain coming down now. It's getting significantly heavier. He goes for the wide, wet line, and you can see, under normal circumstances, you'd have thought that Bodie Batch would come up the inside there, but you can see the grip that Batch was able to find on the more abrasive wide line. Big challenge for these young drivers now in the closing moments of this race. Ralph Martin doing a good job so far, though. That's the 44 stationary at the side of the road. That's Archie Ashworth, who's had some sort of drama there, being covered by yellow flags in that part of the lap. Into this boot section come our leaders. I'm so impressed by this. Lots of moves going on as well, I think, as drivers gain confidence at different rates in the changing conditions. Ethan Holm has moved up to 8th place ahead of Jensen James Williams and Daniel Genov. Actually, no, excuse me. Daniel Genov himself was moving up the order ahead of Freddie Dye and Buster Scott. 2 more laps left of this one. Patrick Woods had a drama out there. He's lost out heavily on that last lap. He's still circulating. But the drivers struggling here, I think, as they have to reread the grip at basically every corner at the moment. And there is Bodie Batch challenging Ralph Martin all the time. Really impressed. You can see as well in the background, I think that's Ollie West has got by on Leo Harang. I couldn't see Leo between Bodie and the others in the background, so I think Ollie West may have taken 3rd place here on this lap. Indeed, that is not Leo Harang, that is Ollie West. So we'll have to look and see. Yeah, so Leo's just behind him, so no No huge drama for Leo. He's still very much in this fight. But Ollie West has got through. Last lap board shown to Ralph Martin at the head of the field. He's got Bodie Batch all over the back of him on this last lap. But you've got to be pretty bold to execute a move in these conditions. But here's the thing, if Ralph Martin goes defensive, does he have the grip on the inside to defend? No, he's going to skirt wide. That is the wet conditions in action. And Bodie Batch, who took the wider line, was able to find the grip and has taken the lead back in the first part of this final lap of Heat 2. How's it going to be for the rest of the lap? That is the challenge of defending in greasy conditions writ large there in what you just saw at the hairpin at turn 2. Through turn 5 they come. They've got some traffic ahead of them. He comes back. Ralph Martin comes back at Bodie Batch, but again, can he find the grip? They'll be side by side coming down towards the boot section now at the end of the lap. Here they come. There's traffic to contend with as well. That's Teddy Smith, who's trying to run his own race here. Bodie Batch is in the lead, but there's going to be difficulty here coming towards the line. Who's going to read this the best? Bodie Batch manages to get around the outside of Teddy Smith and will hang on for the win ahead of Ralph Martin. What a dramatic end to what was already an impressively dramatic race here at Fulbeck. Who comes across third? Leo Harang gets third off of Ollie West just on that last lap. Ethan Holm in fifth. He had a good drive in the latter part of that as the conditions worsened. Freddie Baker in sixth. Then it was Jensen James Williams. Then Oliver Woodall, Patrick Wood in ninth, and Freddie Dye rounds out the top 10. My goodness me. And just as we say all that, I'm looking out the window. It looks to me like the rain might have died down again for now. I'm sure it'll be back to give us more drama as the day goes on. But really impressed again with how these young drivers navigated all of that. Right, it'll be Rotax 177 up for you next here in just a moment's time here at Fulbeck. Well, what tyres do you stick on the karts now? Because it's not technically raining at this precise moment, or if it is, it's very lightly spitting. But I think I can see some wet weather tyres in amongst that group right there. It's going to be an interesting one, this. I can definitely see some wet groove tyres there. I wonder if everyone's gone for it. There's Luke Oliver's choice. It looks to me like everyone I can see in shot have played this one safe and have gone with the wets. Yes, indeed. Looks like it's been a universal decision there in the Rotax 177 ranks. Let's take a look at your grid then as we go into this second heat of the day for our Rotax 177 class. Luke Oliver is your pole sitter here with Nathan Chafer, trophy winner from yesterday in the finals, alongside Shane Collins, Rhys Llewellyn are on row number 2. Ian Bramfield and Stephen Horner are on row number 3. Row 4 is where we will find Zach Bolton and Scott Smith, Ben Johnson and Will Milner. I should mention, by the way, I don't think we saw Scott Smith take to the track for Heat 1, if memory serves correctly, so we'll be interested to see if he's in amongst the runners now. Tim Darlow and Mark Gillibrand are on row number 6. And rounding out the 13-car field, we expect to see the number 4 of Andy Ward. That's how they line up for Heat 2 of Rotax 177, coming to you live here from Fulbeck in Lincolnshire. Round 8 of the 2024 Rally Replay SuperOne Series, with live coverage coming to you courtesy of Alpha Live, myself, Howard Mitchell, of Double Dash Motorsport Media in the comms position. And I've just had it pointed out to me, I'm looking out the window, it is indeed raining again. There it is, you can see it on the camera. It's literally, it is holding off for long enough that the drivers are struggling to get around the warm-up lap here. That is Will Milner checking out whether the rallycross line might work off of the start. I know these wet weather tyres can be good, but I don't think that one's going to pay dividends. But This is going to be fascinating. The rain is literally turning up for every race and then just fizzling out towards the end of each one, just enough to leave everyone guessing for how the next race is going to go. That is going to be a full start because no one's in anything like what a grid formation would look like. Which we need to play some caution to here, because is the full start because in a way are the drivers trying to use this in order to do more reconnaissance is the question I would pose. Bearing in mind, if there are 2 full starts, they will knock some time off of the race. It's worth bearing that in mind. This is starting to look, though, a little bit more like a grid formation. So, light rain, and it is fine rain I'm seeing out the window, but it is still going. As the drivers get ready for, well, at least they got a couple of laps there to get the lay of the land. But nonetheless, this could be an interesting one. Luke Oliver on pole in the 97, Nathan Chafer alongside in the 37. Away we go for 7 minutes plus a lap of racing. They'll miss out chicane 1, as is customary, on lap number 1. How's it going to be into turn 2? How wide a line do you take? Many of them take to the inside line and are able to find the grip with the with the wet weather tyres on. Luke Oliver, it is, holds the lead. Shane Collins, though, has got up into second. You can see him there with the Manx flag on his helmet there. Number 52, as they all find their way through turn number 5. Wider, wet lines through turn 6. As we head towards the last section of the lap. And the battling going on in these early phases. Tim Darlow in the 88 versus Scott Smith in the 38 going on there. As they come round to finish lap number 1, Luke Oliver has indeed retained that lead. Shane Collins under pressure here from Nathan Chafer. Chafer's going to look to the inside of turn 2 here for second place, but he skirts wide in the greasy conditions. There's a little tap between the rear left of Chafer and the front right of Collins, but that is job done for the move nonetheless. Ian Bramfield behind them. I'm hearing that Zach Bolton is off at the first hairpin. Yes, indeed. You can see him at the very back of the shot there, I think, recovering from that. As Ian Bramfield going through Reese Llewellyn, Stephen Horner, Tim Darlow, Scott Smith. Ben Johnson, and I would assume Mark Gillibrand has inherited 10th place as a result of that moment for Zach. There is Tim Darlow coming through to start another lap in 8th place, and actually he's lost out to Scott Smith on that last lap. Now, Ian Bramfield is slowly but surely coming up onto the back of Shane Collins. The gap came down a little bit last lap. There's Ben Johnson in the yellow helmet. Oh! And ahead of him, that is Tim Darlow, thinking better of taking the turning point to chicane 2, chooses to go all the way through. Well, my understanding is by and large that will be acceptable, provided he does not gain any clear advantage whatsoever. As long as he backs off sufficiently, it should be okay. Ultimately, though, that call is not mine to make, I stress. Fastest lap of the race from Shane Collins, coming up onto the back of Nathan Chafer, who got by on him a few minutes ago. Little look over the shoulder from Luke Oliver, controlling it well at the moment though. Here is a little further down the order with Stephen Horner, that was. think that might have been Scott Smith getting by on him. Indeed it is. 38 now ahead of the 66, as you can see on your screen right now. So Scott Smith making some progress up this order. So many different lines being taken through that turn 6 at the moment, as the drivers try and work out is now the time, because